everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about thrifting. More specifically, how I created my dream wardrobe by thrifting and shopping secondhand. Now, if you know me, you know that I love to thrift. I'm always going up to the thrift stores. Probably at least half of my wardrobe is secondhand at this point. And I'm always making short little videos for TikTok and Instagram about my thrift hauls and going thrifting with me. So yeah, I love thrifting. I've been going thrifting for a long time and slowly just creating my dream wardrobe, and today I'm going to teach you how to do it. And I go thrifting usually once a week or once every other week, and I love to make a fun little routine out of it. I'll go to my favorite restaurant, which is Raising Cane's, and then go to the thrift store after, so it's just a fun little pick-me-up on a blah Tuesday afternoon. It's a lot of fun and gives me something that I look forward to, and I love that part of my routine. So let's go ahead and get into the video, and the first section will be where I buy secondhand. Obviously, the thrift store. I have a Savers and a Goodwill that's near me that I really like. Out of the two, I definitely like Savers a bit more. I just find I usually find a bit more there. I usually see a little bit more there that I like and end up buying a little bit more, but you really just never know. That's the thing with thrifting, is that literally every day can be different and you never know what you're gonna find. Some days I'll actually have a list of items that I want or I'm looking for, and some days I just go in to browse, which is honestly most days. I don't usually go in with a list because I usually don't find a lot on it, but if I am going in with a list, I usually have it as very broad categories. For example, on my last visit, I was looking for a new pair of jeans, a cool looking vase, so I'm usually never very specific. Other good thrift stores are the Salvation Army and even Plato's Closet. The last few times I went, I was actually really surprised. I used to think that they were really expensive, but compared to even just the thrift stores, they actually have really decent prices and sometimes are even cheaper. So yeah, I've honestly really been liking Plato's Closet lately, and I just find the clothes there are better quality and I can find more of what I'm looking for because there's a lot more name brand stuff. Not that I only buy name brand, actually far from it, but if I am looking for more specific stuff, Plato's Closet is the place to go. I also find I have a better time when I go when it's not very busy. I try to avoid senior day as much as possible. It's always crowded, it's loud, it's hard to find anything, and it just seriously makes me cranky, which makes the experience not fun. And that's the thing, I have to be in the mood to thrift and have a good time, and if there's just a bunch of people and it's really busy, it's not fun. My favorite time to go is in the morning on a weekday when they had first opened and there's not tons of people. Also, see if you can get coupons ahead of time for donating. I know my Savers gives out a 20%, and unfortunately my Goodwill doesn't give out anything, but I do know that there are Goodwills out there that do. Honestly, don't rule out Facebook Marketplace either. After some time, you can really curate it to understand you and what you're looking for, and it'll give you a lot better items. The more you use it, the more you search on it, the better results it'll give you. But I find a lot of my stuff through apps like Depop, Poshmark, Mercari, and even eBay. I know Mercari has kind of become a little controversial lately with their seller fees and their return policy, but my favorite clothes buying app has always been Depop. I just find they're the most user-friendly as both a buyer and a seller. I love to sell my old clothes on there and then take that money that I got from selling them to buy new stuff. So over time, my closet has just becoming more and more me. This isn't something that happened overnight. I have been trying to do this for the last few years or so, as well as trying to find my personal style, which I feel like I really haven't found until the last year. But I've gotten to the point now where I'm pretty confident about buying clothes and knowing what I like and won't like. I'm usually pretty confident that I'll get a lot of use out of what I buy. But again, that came with a lot of trial and error to really find out what my style is and what I like, what fits me, what doesn't. And that really just starts out with finding a few good pieces from a brand you really like or a style you really like. For example, my Patagonia Chinchilla fleeces. I love these. I originally bought a couple size small from Depop and I realized that that didn't fit me, so I bought a size medium that fit perfectly, and now I know whenever I see a chinchilla fleece that I really like, it's got to be the size medium. I want a color that I really will wear a lot of, but now I know what to look for. I just made a video a few weeks ago to that sound that says if I like it, I'll just get it in a different color, and I did it to my Patagonia fleeces because I own quite a bit of these now, but I love them so much. They are comfy, they fit me perfectly, they're just my style, and when you find that thing you really like, you just can't go wrong. Same thing with these Outdoor Voices Rec Trek shorts. I found my size on them and now I own a whole bunch because I really just love them. And not to mention I'm getting them for a half or even a third of the price of them being brand new and literally still in like new condition. And by now, all of my secondhand shopping apps have become very curated to me because I have bought and sold so many items through there. I'm browsing all the time, I'm liking all the things that pique my interest even if I don't plan on buying them. And now the apps just really know me and give me a lot more examples of things that I really like. Next topic I wanted to talk about are some tips for actually finding things at the thrift store. Like I mentioned earlier, earlier, I have to actually want to be at the thrift store. I have way better luck when I'm actually in the mood for thrifting, if you know what I mean. I have to want to be there looking around, and especially when the environment is quiet and less busy, I just have a lot better luck and a better time in general. If I don't want to look through every single piece or just don't have the time, I pay really close attention to colors and patterns. So I'm just kind of swiping through the clothes and looking at the sleeves, especially for patterns that I really like. And when I'm swiping through, I'm also looking for good textures that I really like. And I'm super picky about texture. If something is super cute, but it has a texture that I really don't like or know I won't wear, I pass on it completely. I know I would never really reach for it in my closet, and by now I know which textures I gravitate towards to and which ones I hate. And also, kind of like I mentioned earlier, if you are looking for specific items, just make a list. You don't have to be super specific, but just having that reminder really helps. It's also fun to find inspiration beforehand by going on Pinterest, especially if you don't really know what your personal style is or haven't really defined it yet. I love going on Pinterest and looking up different styles, especially when I didn't really know what my personal style was yet. Also, don't rule out the men's section. Things can sometimes get miscategorized, or things that are unisex are often placed there. So sometimes you'll find some really nice pieces, but you'll never know if you don't look. So take your time and just have fun with it. My next tip is that it's okay to spend a little bit more money to get something that's higher quality and will last you. Just because something's cheap does not mean you should get it. Sometimes it's worth the splurge for nicer items because you'll find yourself wearing it more, you'll find yourself taking better care of it, and eventually the cost per wear will be pretty low. And that's why I talk about intentional thrifting, for those reasons. With overconsumption, I do think intentional thrifting is important. When I was earlier on in the process of revamping my wardrobe, I did buy a lot of items even though I didn't like them. I bought them because I thought I would like them and I thought I would wear them more, but just never ended up doing it. And honestly, I think that's totally okay. You never know what you really like until you try it. But that's why I think it's important to try beforehand to find styles, patterns, colors, brands that you really like. But of course, I understand not knowing what your style is and trying a bunch of things to see what you do like. So it's kind of a funny balance. And for my last section, we're gonna mix it up a bit. I'm gonna take you to my closet and show you some of my favorite secondhand items. First is my Cotopaxi jacket. I got an incredible deal on this secondhand. I love this. I wear it all the time. It is so comfy, so warm, and I've literally talked about this I think 3 or 4 times on my channel already. This dark green vest I love. I think it's the perfect color and I wear it all the time. This Parks Project long sleeve. Parks Project is one of my favorite brands, so I always get excited to find it secondhand. I've got these outer layers that I think are really cute. I especially love the colors on this one. Here are some of my favorite t-shirts. I love this 10 Tree one. I got this from Depop. I found this REI one at Goodwill, and then I love to get my Patagonia shirts secondhand because they're perfect for hiking. Actually, in my closet now, just about every single one of these fleeces is secondhand. I love them all, but I spend a lot of time looking for colors and patterns that I really like. This Parks Project one is one of my favorites, and I actually have another Parks Project fleece on the way right now. And I have even bought shoes secondhand, like these Teva sandals. So that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing and make sure to go follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I post every day there, and I do post a lot more thrifting videos there. So thank you so much for watching.